You can do this, I believe in you. It's a hell of a dive down, but we're getting there. Come on. Here comes the diamond. Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today I'm starting very early in the morning, it is 7:45 AM here in the UK, but here in Australia it is obviously much later on in the day. The sun is starting to set here in Melbourne. We're going to be flying as Qantas 131 today. It's another charter flight. Thank you so much to Malcolm Armstrong for this. The flight number comes from the new format that I'm using now for basically any flights really outside of Europe. So 13, obviously number 13 for M, which is his first initial, and then 1 for A, which is his second initial. So Qantas 131. I'm just going to show you something. Because I'm doing this early in the morning, and it's obviously evening time in Australia, there's a lot of ATC on. So we've got ground, tower has just gone offline, but Melbourne approach is on, and then we have, what's that? Melbourne Centre as well, and then ground and delivery at Brisbane, which is where we're heading up to today. I'm delighted to be back in the PMDG 737. I'm going to be using... I thought I'd really slickly grab this. My checklist that I've been developing for this aircraft just adds a little bit more detail in what to do with the FMC, because that's usually the bit where I get sort of stuck and get a bit caught up. It also cuts out a lot of stuff that is basically real-world operations that you don't need to do in the sim, so it streamlines it a bit. I'm still working on it a little bit. There will be links to this very, very soon when it's completed, but yeah, still working on it, and we're going to be using that here today. I've also got my VATSIM scratch pad that I usually use, and I really feel bunged up all of a sudden. I wasn't this morning, I was fine, but yeah, all of a sudden now I've started talking, I've noticed it, I can hear my head rattling. Jumping into the aircraft, we've got ground power on at the moment. That's basically all that is powering us. We're going to get the data from SimBrief on here. Make sure that's all in before we do anything. I'm bad for doing stuff and then getting the information in and not being able to use it, basically. What I do want to do is connect to VATSIM, of course, because we need to be on this QFA 131, and we are in a Boeing 737-800. We'll connect and frame rate will go out of the window, I'm sure. Not sure how many aircraft there are around us on here. We can usually look on here. Live traffic. There's an aircraft behind us, apparently. Jetstar 316, Jetstar over there as well. Have I parked at the wrong side? There indeed is Jetstar behind us, and there's a 747 over there, Qantas 74. How cool is that? There's another Jetstar tail just here. Oh dear, that's a shame. Still, awesome. I'm not sure if ground is also doing delivery today, so I want to get that clearance in pretty sharpish. But to begin with, obviously, we need to set the aircraft up. My GSX Pro is out of date. I spent a lot of time last night making sure everything was up to date, and I forgot about GSX because I'm a moron. Oh well. Battery guard closed and standby power closed. Ground power is on at the moment, as we can clearly see. Position lights are steady. Logo light goes on. Emergency exit signs, we're going to put that up and back down again. Seatbelt signs, we're going to put them on. We're going to put them on auto, and then we're going to put the packs to auto. Get some noise in here. Then the IRS mode selectors need to go into nav. We'll do the right and then the left. What else? Electronic flight bag, which is EFB. Request data from SimBrief, yes. And then we will set the altimeter. So it's 1004. Let's make sure that we've got that on here. Barrow, HPA 10. Come on, scroll. 1004. Let's just make sure it's the same on both sides. Yes. Cracking. FMC then. We go down to FMC, position in it. I have updated all the nav data, so I don't know why that's saying that's out of date. Route, flight plan request. Oh no, hang on. No, we need to go to index ident, position in it, grab that, put it in there. Then we go to route. Oh, I guess not then. Route, flight plan request, SimBrief route, set payload, set fuel, select route. I've got all of this written on this list on here, like what you press in what order, just to get it all in. There's obviously other parts that you could do as well. Load, and then we wait. Then it's activate, execute. Then we have perf init, request, load, and then execute. Activate, execute, perf init request. Then it'll come up with load in the bottom corner. Let's put the panel brightness up a little bit, shall we? Let's get some lighting up in here. That one scrolls really slowly compared to the others. Don't know why. And then we'll have load, and execute. Cool. Cost index is 12 today. We are on 7.9 tons of fuel on the block fuel. Perfinite departure and arrival. We need to put the departure in at Melbourne. We are on the Nonix 4 for runway 27 at the moment. We'll have to see if that's what they're actually using, but obviously we can change that if needs be. And then we need to go back to departures and arrivals, and we need to go arrival, and we're going to be going on... Ooh, we need to sort our approach out. We're going to be coming from Blacker 7 Alpha. Oh god, that's ugly. We're going to be going Velka and then in. We can get rid of all the other bits. ILS runway 1 left. ILS 1 left. And yeah, it seems like Blacker 6 Alpha is the only one. Was that what we had? We had Blacker 7 Alpha. Interesting. Okay, might be slightly different, but we'll be alright. Was there a transition in that? It says Tannic on there. We do go via Tannic, don't we? I saw that. Did I see Tannic? Yes, Tannic is there. Okay, that's fine. I can get on board with that. I don't mind if it's not perfect. Cruise, input flight level. We're at 370 today, and then we go through legs and check for discontinuities. So we need to go to plan, and then come down, and just go step, step, step. It'll probably do what it showed us on that, yeah. See, it takes us into the VFR and then to, not the VFR, the VOR, and then into Blacker. So we want to go Pedbo, Adkex, Witty, Idna, Blacker, and then from Blacker, yeah, it takes us back round to Blacker for some reason. So we want to put, where is it? Velka. I'm going to take that, go back a page, put it after Blacker. So next one is movie. So I want to put Velka in instead of movie. There we go. So we're going straight in. We've sorted that out. We also need to get GSX boarding us, don't we? Actually, we need to start some boarding.
Boarding requested.
There it is. Is she at full volume today? Let's check. It's in volume mixer. Chaz, come on, you know this by now. Yes. Wow. Back to full volume. Cheers, GSX. Let's check what radio frequencies we should be on as well. Melbourne ground 121.7. We're not going to attach the pushback tug just yet. We want 121.7. Not long to scroll on this, actually, to get to that. Let's listen in. Hopefully you can hear it. Should be able to. I've not changed anything on VPilot. We'll let boarding commence for a minute as well, because obviously that needs to catch up now. Usually I've got that going on first while I'm setting all this up.
Qantas 778,
There we go.
Scorpio Charlie, push and starboard.
So we have made to make sure it's filed. I don't think I filed earlier. Was it 132.7? Just because I know he's going to tell me that. 132.0. Okay.
Melbourne, good evening. Qantas 131 requesting clearance to Brisbane, please.
Qantas 131, Melbourne ground, clear to Brisbane via Nonix flight plan route, runway 27. Nonix 4 departure, climb by 55,000, squawk 4567, departure frequency 132.0.
Clear to Brisbane, runway 27, Nonix 4 departure, climb via the SID 5000, squawk 4567, and departure frequency 132.0.
Qantas 131.
Cracking. So we're climbing via SID, 5,000 feet initially. I don't know what it is, but it's like when you're driving abroad. You know, you always feel like everybody in the road is against you because it's as if they know you're from another country. Flying in a different sort of area, or maybe with potentially different regulations, always scares me. But still, we got that clearance done all right, didn't we? So we're going to push back onto... What taxiway is this going to be? We're going to push back onto Quebec from Bravo 26. Boarding is still going on, so we need to just check now that we've got everything else. We need to put our V-speeds and things in, so we need to go to the performance tool on here. Import from OFP, import from OFP. We're on runway 27, and we're going to import the weather and calculate, please. Oh. Import the weight from the aircraft, that's why. 141, 142, 148. Then we go to init-ref, index, takeoff. We're going to go flaps 5 for this. Oh, actually, what flaps did it say on here? Does it say? Yeah, flaps 5. So.
Departure 227, Bay, correction, Bay, Golf 45, request push and start.
Bay instead of stand. Interesting how you get different wording and stuff, isn't it? 142.
There was a 8020 on your right.
There we go. Centre of gravity. Yeah, input trim and V-speed. So 5.54. Let's get scrolling. Go to about there. That'll do. Okay, so it was 5.54, wasn't it? Yeah, cool. Right then, next up, we've done the trim speed. Yeah, after requesting clearance, transponder goes to TA only. TA only. We need to squawk as well. 4567. There we go. 4567 on TA only. IAS max speed, which I believe you put the V2 speed in, is it? Which would be 148. The aircraft thinks 149, but I'm doing 148. Runway heading, so we need to get the runway heading, which is here. 20, bearing is 263. That might have been behind my head, so apologies. Probably better going this way. Loads of scrolling in the 737. Oh, look at that. 263. Crack him. And then we want to put in the initial altitude, which we've done. Yaw damper comes on. Boarding is completed. Thank you very much, GSX. Window heat comes on. And we'll put the flight altitude in, which is 370. And the landing altitude, which we need to check in Brisbane. I believe it's quite low to sea level, is it not? Is Brisbane. Elevation is 13 feet, so we're just going to put that in at 50. We need to then put the flight directors on, make sure we've got VNAV and LNAV all good to go. So flight director on, VNAV is on, LNAV is on. Beautiful stuff. And then the auto brake goes to RTO. And then after this point, we close all doors, remove GPU, and request pushy back. So, let's make sure all doors and everything are cleared and closed and sorted. So we need to go, oh actually it's in here, isn't it? Ground operations, door management, close all. Please, there we go, it's closing them. And then we'll put on GSX, prepare for pushback and departure. We need to remove the GPU, so we need to go onto the APU actually. I haven't put that on here at any point, have I? Yeah, I've put remove GPU before starting the APU.
Hello, Captain.
That's not good, is it?
Pushback.
So let's start the APU, shall we?
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Never put that left aft fuel pump on either. Was that not on here? No. Okay, so this is why I'm checking these things. We're waiting for the APU gen in blue to come up on here. Once it gets to about 4, it should come on. Yep, there we go. Change over to the APU, ground power off. We can then come down to the FMC. And to remove it, we go FMC, menu, FS actions, ground services. I'm just making sure I've written all this down. Remove the wheel chocks, and that gets rid of all the GPU and everything. Oh, I've been sat on my leg all funny.
A ground Qantas 131, stand Bravo 26, requesting push and start, please.
Qantas 131, push and start approved.
Push and start approved, Qantas 131, cheers.
Okay, so we're going to be facing tail south on Quebec. Parking brakes off.
Commencing push.
Commencing El Pusho. Right then, let's get on with this, shall we then? So left aft fuel pump is on, APU start, APU gen, auto throttle arm. Fuel pumps need to all come on. We do need the central ones, don't we? Yes, there's only a tiny bit of fuel in the central pumps, so we can put them on as well. Electric hydraulic pumps come on. Banging anti-collision light, it's that one, and then the APU bleed comes on, which is here. Engine start, then we need to put the lower DU to engine primary, and then we put the packs off up here, and then engine 1 start switch goes into ground. Let it run up. It's going to be a high power takeoff today. He thinks takeoff is 100.3 on the thrust. Let's put some fuel in.
Ground, Jetstar 227, ready for taxi. Just 227, taxi by Yankee Alpha Tango Hong Kong for 5 runway 27. Qantas 778, contact approach 132.0.
Okay, we've got a good engine start there. So now we're going to go up and we are going to, no Google, I didn't ask you. We're going to go ground on engine 2. Let that run up. Wait for that to reach 1. Cracking fuel.
It's 530.
Unlocking gear.
Okay, we've got good engine starts on both. We've got a fuel warning because obviously the central tank is about to be pretty empty pretty soon. We've got a little tug parked in front of us here. I'm not quite sure where they're expecting us to go. Let's just sort this out, put that back on there. After start,
Tow truck disconnected.
Gen 1 and Gen 2 go
Bypass
on.
removed.
Gen 1 and Gen 2.
Left is clear.
Pro
Right
Peak
is
comes
clear.
on. We're going to put that up on here. Then we have, oh actually hang on, we need to put the lower DU back into normal. Put that back on there. And then we have the packs go to auto. Isolation valve goes to auto. APU bleed comes off. APU comes off. Engine start switch is going to continuous. And we have the flaps set, which we're going to do manually in the aircraft. We're going to be flaps 5.
Melbourne ground, good day, Jetstar 7.
And then we're going to have taxi light on when we're good to go.
Runway.
There's us. It's going to be a short taxi actually. We're just going to go via Quebec.
Just 227, contact approach 132.0. Contact approach 132.0.
Oh yeah, let's get that in ready to go, shall we? 132.0.
Ground, Qantas 131, ready for taxi.
Qantas 131, taxi to Holland Park, Quebec, runway 27.
Holly Point, Quebec, runway 27, Qantas 131.
Okay, so QNH 1004, just popping that in here. Let's go, parking brake is coming off. Thanks once again to Malcolm Armstrong for chartering this flight here today. It's a bit of a longer one, it's on the longer side. It's 2 hours 25 minutes block time, but that's absolutely fine. I do not mind at all. As long as they're not over sort of 2.5 hours, then we're absolutely sound with everything. We're not going to be having a long taxi here, like I was just saying. We're just going to go in a straight line to holding point Quebec. There's not really a lot to do here. You can see other aircraft taking off and moving around us, so we need to get ready for takeoff. So before takeoff, we need to do fuel flow reset, then rate. Landing lights need to come on. We need to then have runway turn-off lights on, which I've already got on. Position lights need to go to strobe and steady. Transponder goes to TARA, and then it's TFC and clock, and then we get on with the job at hand. We've got flaps set. Flaps are set to 5.
Jetstar 723, it seems that I've took the wrong turn to Foxtrot 14.
Whoops.
Could I take Foxtrot 15?
Affirm.
It happens to the
Thank you,
best of us.
Jetstar 723.
It's a very slow taxi, Chaz. Come on, sort it out. There's an aircraft there lined up. I think ground will pass us over very soon. That's holding point Quebec for runway 27. Not this first one, the second one. Pretty sure. Let's just make sure.
Qantas 131, contact approach 132.0.
Over to approach on 132.0. Thanks very much for the hard work. See you soon.
See ya.
Over to approach, and then this is holding point Quebec. Aircraft in front of us has just been cleared, so now it's time to get our stuff prepared. So reset and then rate on the fuel. No, that's used. We want reset and then rate. We're going to do TFC, and we're going to put the landing lights on. We do that when we get clearance actually, Chaz, so calm down. We need to make sure the transponder is on TA and RA. We've got our squawk code in. It's all just to do with lights basically. We'll put strobe light on. Strobe and steady. Cool. So flying in the evening here in Australia, but like I say, very early morning here in the UK.
Melbourne approach, good morning. Qantas 131 with you, runway 27.
Level.
Oh,
What's that for? Just 227 for US step down.
my bad.
Jetstar 227 identified, verify level.
Just 227 passing through 2000.
Jetstar 227, climb via SID to flight level 240.
Flight
Climb via SID, that's level 240, just on 237.
Melbourne approach, apologies, that was me doing the stepping on. Qantas 131 at runway 27.
Qantas 131 approach today, wind 200 degrees, 8 knots, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 27, thanks very much, Qantas 131.
Let's do clock, parking brake off, landing lights come on. Landing lights come on, Chaz. Let's get on with it, shall we? Right then. Don't think there's anything else left to do. Put taxi light off, because who needs that now? Come on, plane. Come on. God, I've missed the tractor. I do like how manual the 737 is. There's a lot of flying to do. After takeoff then, so we're going to have positive rate gear up, auto brake will come off, then it's engine start switches, and then gear lever. Okay. Banging, no delay, we're going to get onto the runway, we're just going to turn on and just get on with it. We're going to get on like this. We're going to go on this shorter route here. Going to wind off the throttle for a little bit. Are we ready? We're going to go up to takeoff power on here. And then obviously click the little screw on there. That will lead us up to Toga. Sounds good? Let's go. Cool. Oh yeah, what a great noise. Okay, we've got N1 Toga on the FMC throttle hold. God, it's a bumpy runway. Flippin' heck, it's bumpy. Get up to V1 speed.
V1.
Rotate. Oh, it's windy. Whoa. Positive rate, gear up. Following the flight director. Take the auto brake off. Trim wheel's doing some mad stuff.
Qantas 131 identified, verify level.
Qantas 131 go through 1,700 feet.
Qantas 131, thanks, climb via SID to flight level 240.
Up to flight level 240, Qantas 131.
240. Trying to manage that while also flying the plane. 240 in the box, or a little bit. Ooh, that was a bit heavy-handed. Sorry. Gear lever goes to the off position. Flaps can come up a little bit. We'll go flap 2, flap 1, and then flaps can come clean. Auto throttle is armed, isn't it? Speed brakes should have been armed, I'm pretty sure. No, you don't arm them in the 7.3, do you? Lights, runway turn-offs, strobe and steady. We need to turn those central pumps off. Wow, all over the joint here. Yeah, gear lever, and then yeah, autopilot is next up when we need to. So let's get flying piggy. The trim is, like I say, if I let go of the stick, it's just climbing up and up and up. I'm having to push the nose down a little bit here on the stick. Let's put the autopilot in. It's got me. Let's do some beauty shots. The 737 is so loud outside, it's mental. Going through 10,000 feet now, so landing lights come off. We've got the runway turn-offs and everything off. We've got strobe and steady on the lights, I'm pretty sure. No, we didn't, but that's alright. Engine start switches go back into the off position. And then that is the after takeoff checklist complete. So, now it's just a case of following the instructions of the controllers and getting on with the job at hand. Love it, absolutely love it. Thanks again, Malcolm. It's great to be flying down under. Local time in Australia. How would I find that? How would I find? I'll just do it on my phone. It's 7:20 in the evening, so it's 11 hours behind. Whereas I think Brisbane. Oh God, I'll just check again. Brisbane is 6:20, so Brisbane is 11 hours ahead, and they're 12 hours ahead. No, they're 11 hours ahead. They're 10 hours ahead. How does that work? Look at this.
You can expect that approach.
So we're going up here, and we started here.
Qantas 131, contact Melbourne Centre 132.2, good day.
Over to centre on 132.2, thanks very much, see you soon.
Okay, so 132.2. Bit of scrolling to do. Sorry, I know I'm doing this on the wonk and I'd rather for video purposes do it the right way up.
Melbourne, good evening, Qantas 131 with you, flight level 200, climbing 240.
Qantas 131, Melbourne Centre, good day, climb flight level 370.
Up to 370, Qantas 131.
There we go. All the way up to our cruising altitude. Banging.
Just after 445 star clearance available.
Okay, so we continue to climb up to 370. We're going to be on centre for a while with no further instructions from what I know, so yeah, we're going to go for a beauty shot and listen in for a little bit, so enjoy.
And Nava 150 from Nava, correction, from Nava, recleared direct. Essen November Echo for runway 17.
From Nava, recleared direct, Essen November Echo, runway 17, Nava 150.
Just 21, connect Sydney Tower 120.45 today.
1205, we'll just start 21, thank you.
New Zealand 108, Memphis ATC, Monster Advisory 122.8, good flight.
Capital Advisory 122.8, thanks for your help, New Zealand 1072.
Mauritius 942, connect me 132.2, expect start.
123.2, Mauritius 942. Mauritius 942 with you on 1322.
Mauritius 942, clear Deepborn 1 Alpha arrival, runway 16, when ready, descend flight level 250.
Boon 1 Alpha 16, when ready down to 250. Mauritius 942.
And Puppy, Velocity 438, we're just going to minute halfway through the flight and you'll pass yourself over the notch, yeah.
We'll see 438, no worries, have a good one.
I always enjoy listening in to a bit of ATC. I also enjoy keeping an eye on this from Volanta. So we obviously left a little bit early, which I shouldn't have done. I should have probably waited till 8:15 to get away. But look at the estimated time of arrival, 10:17 local time for me is when we're due in, which is really good. Scheduled was 10:40, but it's probably going to be a little bit later than 10:17 because we're not going in a straight line into the airport like that. We're sort of, once we get here at Blacker, we're going left this way a little bit and then in. It'll take time to get in there, but still, it's great to have that because then you get an idea of when you're going to be there rather than just basing it off the block time. I know it's probably something you could calculate and look in the FMC or the MCDU dependent on your aircraft, but yeah, it's always lovely to get an estimate on there because that makes my day a lot easier because I have to try and cram these flights into a busy day. I've got an audio check at 12 o'clock with a client that I'm commentating for, so I need to make sure that I'm ready for that, and that means that I will be. So there's a few guys being thrown over to advisory at the moment. Not quite sure what this guy's jurisdiction is because it says it's here on Volanta, but we're in his space and he's only just thrown this guy over as well. So,
X-ray,
yeah, not quite sure how far that goes, but maybe if we look on here, it might tell us differently. Let's see. Yeah, look, there you go. That shows you. Because the other guy's on his way to Mudgee, so he's there, look. So we're in his space for a long, long time now.
298, climb up flight level 360.
Okay, we're just about to get up to 37,000 feet now, 36.5. The aircraft is shallowing out our climb. We are very, very high up at the moment at 37,000. I think the last few flights I've done, I haven't really gone that high over 30,000, have I? But yeah, right now, the 737 is doing a wonderful job. It's quite good to be back in the tractor, I must admit. I do enjoy flying this thing as much as I don't understand it as much as the A320s and the A320 family. I do love flying this thing. It really is a lot more work in terms of, especially in a sim anyway. I know that, you know, they're both equal in terms of how hard a job it is, but yeah, people take the mick out of the Airbus for being easy to fly, and it's satisfying when you get into this and you have more buttons and switches to flick for the same sort of procedures. So yeah, it's very, very satisfying to fly. But we are now at 37,000 feet. You know what time it is. It's time for some beauty shots, and we'll make it look all pretty. But thanks again, Malcolm Armstrong, for chartering. I hope you're enjoying it.
For this 131, no for the ACC, 1 advisory 122.8, good day.
Into the peace and quiet, 122.8, have a good day.
There we go then, right. Over to 122.8, it's going dark outside. I'll give you a few more beauty shots of this gorgeous sunset, and then we'll get ready for our descent. Okay, it's dark now, properly dark, so we're going to put some floodlighting and stuff on just to make sure that we can see a lot of the panels of the aircraft. I can't remember where the floodlighting is in the rest of it. I know we've got a bit here, so we can put a little bit on down there, but I can't remember where this one is. Is it this? Oh yeah. We'll do that so we can at least see some of the panels and bits of the aircraft for us to be flicking the switches. I want to do a nice early descent preparation here. So I've got it all on my sort of checklist thing that I've made, just to, you know, ensure that I'm ready for whatever comes our way. So we need to confirm our arrival. Today we are going to be on the Blacker 7 Alpha, but in the aircraft I'm pretty sure we've got it as Blacker 6 Alpha. That's absolutely fine. They're almost the exact same thing. I think there's just been a refresh of some of the data. The destination QNH we need to get, so we'll go on arrival 1015. So I need to switch this and put in 1015 just down there, that little thing there. So that's ready for when we get in. We need the MCP altitude set, so we need to check the arrival and see what altitudes we are coming down to. Blacker 250 knots maximum, Velka 8,000 feet, Bertie below 9,000 feet, so we need to be above 8,000 and then below 9,000. Above 8, below 9, yeah, okay, so if we get 8,000 feet in at Velka, we're going to put 8,000 feet in on here, so we'll get scrolling for a long old time. I went past it then. Okay, 8,000 feet in there, so when we get to the top of descent, the aircraft knows that's the height we're going to go for. We're going to get the forecast winds, which we want. So we want init ref, index, is it approach? Is it descent? There we go, forecast, descent request winds. Forgot how to do that then, I've not done that in a while. It's quite a pivotal part of the flight though in the 737, it's something that you have to remember. They're going to pop in now, or it'll say load or something. I think it's on this switch. Or this one. Yeah, this one. Load, execute that so it knows what the winds are like, it knows the directions and the speeds, so it knows how to adjust the descent accordingly. We then want our FMC approach speed ref, so we want to choose in the approach section here 40, 139. We'll go for 40 degree flaps, 139 knots. Then we get the localizer frequency and course. So we need to open the chart. The course is 016 and the localizer is 111.5. So let me sort a camera out for this. So we want, tell you what, boom, easy. So we pop that in there. 111.5 and the final course is 016. So we're going to put that in on both sides. It's a nice easy course to put in, not much scrolling required. That's cracking, we've got that ready to go. Then we want to set the auto brake. We're going to set that to 3 today because I want the aircraft to actually stop. It's not the longest runway in the world at Brisbane either by the look of it on 01 left. And yeah, we're ready for the topper descent. I'm going to click level change when we get to Adkex just to start that descent and get the aircraft to come down nice and sharpish. But yeah, loving this flight so far. Some beautiful conditions earlier, it was absolutely stunning. And yeah, I hope that continues on as we head into Brisbane. I'm going to turn some of this floodlighting down a little bit because it's a bit bright, isn't it? Especially that one. We'll just make sure we've got a little bit of it. God, it reminds me of being back at the Velocity flight training place because you can barely see anything outside and it's only slightly floodlit. Wow. There is no ATC on at Brisbane either, so we're going to be staying on 122.8 on the advisory, and we're just going to be on Unicom all the way in, basically. So there's no worries about any of that. We just need to make sure we're communicating with everybody that's down there and obviously doing their own thing. There's not many people on by the look of it. There's one aircraft ahead of us. They are miles ahead of us as well. Nobody else coming out of Brisbane now for a while by the look of it. Okay, we're 17 miles away from topper descent now. We're just about to get to Adkex, so I'm going to now click level change, and we're going to go down to 8,000 feet. The aircraft should start descending, and yes it is. It's winding the engines back, and we're going to get down to 8,000 feet. Going to turn that down a little bit to 40, and it begins the long old descent into Brisbane. And that fantastic noise as always from those CFMs. The aircraft is descending really well at the minute. 3,500 feet a minute down in a 737 is no joke. It is going very quickly though because we're at Mach 0.77. Oh, it's actually just converted it now to 317. Let's go to 300 knots. Just chill out a bit, please, plane. Don't want to be going too quickly on the way in. It's descending really well, though, or it has been at least. We're obviously going to level out a bit now to drop the speed and slow the descent down. Might put it back into VNAV. See if it'll do that. Yeah. Okay, cool. So it's got the VNAV path. It's going to manage the speed and everything for me. Cool. Okay, the aircraft is trying to slow itself down now to 250 knots. That's why the descent is really shallow at this point, because we need to be at 250 knots by, I think it's by Idna actually. Is it by Idna? Let's just check on the arrival. Blacker, we want to be at 250 knots. And I think Idna is the waypoint before that. Yes, it is, look. Idna and then Blacker. Drag required, it says, so we'll give it some. Give it some speed brakes. Why have you gone up there, camera? Help slow the aircraft down a little bit to 250 knots. Okay, it's at 250 knots, so we'll take the speed brakes out now. It's actually putting some power in to maintain it. We've got ground online at Brisbane now, which is cool. So we've at least got something online to speak to. Centre has come on now. Wow, that's a massive centre. Wow, that's huge. Yeah, at least we'll have some ATC once we get in. We'll get to speak to ground. We've got Blacker over there, as you can see. The aircraft is descending at just 1,000 feet a minute, but we're under profile at the moment, so yeah, I'm sure that it'll slow down at some point in the near future. We'll put that back on 40 so we've got a bit of a closer idea of what's going on. Just making sure seatbelt signs and everything are on. Seatbelt signs are on auto. Can we maybe floodlight all this? How do we do that? Is that up here? That's just dome, isn't it? It's just dome. That's too bright. Turn it off. Just over to our right hand side over there is the Gold Coast. Very gold at the moment, isn't it? And then Brisbane's just up this way up here. These islands and stuff just off the coast. We haven't inputted any minimums yet, I've just noticed. We're going to be putting ILS minimums in at 220, so we're going to make sure the minimums up here are on Barrow. 220. Not long to scroll in the 7.3. That makes it a change, doesn't it? 220 Barrow minimums. I need to note down the stuff I've missed out here. It's really winding the engines back now, dropping because the speed is increasing and so is the descent rate, so it's trying to balance out the speed and the descent rate. We're going to be turning left at Blacker shortly. We're going to get to 8,000 feet by there. We need to be below 9,000 at Bertie, above 8,000 at Velka. So yeah, it's just figuring out the descent on our way in at present. So if we get it on level change at 8,000, tell it 250 knots, then we should be all good.
Brisbane traffic, Qantas 131, descending through 10,000 feet on the Blacker 7 Alpha arrival for runway 01 left.
Okay, we're going to put the landing lights on at this point. And put runway turn-offs on as well, nice and early. We're going to also just check a few things on here. Seatbelt signs are on. We need to put then the VOR localizer thing on when we get a bit closer in, but look at all this. We're certainly getting down there now. Through 10,000 feet we go. Gone into 1015 out of standard pressure. Feeling good. Just for an early bit of housekeeping, I'm going to check what Brisbane ground is when we get in. 121.7 by the look of it. So let's just get that in early, shall we? 121.7. Okay, we're getting to within 1,000 feet of 8,000 now, so that means we're just going through 9,000 feet. 121.7 ready in the box. Our next altitude down then on the approach is going to be 4,000. And I think that's pretty much where we intercept the ILS as well. Let me have a look. Yeah, 4,000 at Tannic and then in on the glide slope. Pretty sure we intercept it there, so it's at some point between 2,500 at the localizer. So we'll go 4,000 as the next one. We'll be getting to Tannic at 4,000 feet then. It's 8,000 or above at Velka actually, isn't it? Can we put it in VNav? Yeah. It's probably going to climb back up to 8,000 feet. Yeah, it is. Good. Okay, so it's doing 240 knots up to 8,000. I should have gotten back to that. Level change, 8,000 feet, please. Thank you. 240 knots is fine because one of the restrictions is 230 knots in the not too distant future. There we go. Stay at 8,000 feet. 9,000 or below at Bertie. And then at Tannic we want 4,000 feet. So once we get past Bertie, then we'll ask it for 4,000 feet. Little mistake, but that's alright. Happens. Just check that the QNH is the same still. It's 1016 now, so we need to put that up a little bit. There we go, that's why it now says we're at 8,000 feet. What led me to look at that was the fact it was sitting at 7,900 feet. It doesn't seem to know where we're going after Tannic. So I imagine we want to put that there. There we go, it's joined them up now. Okay, so now we've got past Bertie, we want to be at 4,000 feet. Level change, and we'll do 230 knots. It's calling me names, as always. We're descending, and on our way into Brisbane, everybody. I'm excited by this, really excited. So we need to think about flap speeds and things as well soon. We need to also look at, let's put the VOR localizer on. Just press that so it's ready. Then we'll arm the approach, flaps, speed brakes and so on. We'll arm the speed brakes at this point. Engine start switches go into continuous. And then, yeah, basically it's just a case of sorting the approach speeds and flaps and so on. Above the profile.
Traffic bound on right.
Last station calling on current arrival. We're on for 01 left at Brisbane, Qantas 131. Still quite a while out though.
131, I just saw your light.
All golden, I'll be no trouble for you, sunshine.
Okay, right. So we're getting to Bissek now. As you can see, we're above this profile. Let's slow the speed down a little bit, shall we? 200 knots. I think it was like max 230 knots on that waypoint. Yeah. Okay, so max 185 knots at Tannic. So we'll really slow it down now. And then, while the descent is not slowing down, we're obviously going to be wanting flaps soon, and that's going to drag us down even further. 185 is the maximum at Tannic, so we'll go 180 knots. We'll use the speed brakes, and then we'll start bringing some flaps in. Flaps 1, flaps 2, and then flaps 5. Come on, get down, pig. Airfield is just over to our right hand side. There it is, there's 01 left and 01 right. Wow, closer than I thought we were. We'll go flaps 10, and then flaps 15 is when we put the landing gear down. Oh, I think we're a little bit early on that flaps 10. Still a bit high here as well. Although we need to be 4,000 or above at CFO 1 left, so yeah, that's fine. We're going to change that to 2,500 feet now. Nice and slow on the turn. And we're going to arm the approach. We need to continue descending, and we need to do it quickly. Take the speed brakes out, we'll then arm them.
Brisbane traffic, Qantas 131, lined up runway 01 left.
We are not far out at all here. What is our approach speed ref? 139. Let's get that in. We'll get Piggy down now. We'll get the gear down. Flaps coming down as well. We'll go flaps full. 40 flaps. We're way above the glide slope, but it should drop now to catch up with it. Come on, pig. You can do it. There we go. Look at that drop. Come on. Come on, pig. Catch up. Catch up with that diamond. Please. You can do this. I believe in you. It's a hell of a dive down, but we're getting there. Come on. Here comes the diamond. I believe in you, piggy. Please. God, it really is nosediving. I know this isn't the best. I dropped height a bit late, didn't I? I didn't slow it down quickly enough. I think that was my main issue. Right, we've got approach speed, landing flaps, gear lever is down, speed brakes armed, flaps are all out. Okay, cool. Runway turn off lights and landing lights are on. Okay, engine start switches are into continuous. It's just a case of flying the thing when we get to it. Come on, catch that diamond. Get on the glide slope. Please, for me. Yes! Oh, I love it. I love you, tractor. Cracking stuff. Okay.
Brisbane traffic, Qantas 131, fully established, 01 left. Less than 10 miles to run.
Okay. Welcome into Brisbane, everybody. Not the most orthodox approach. Still an interesting one. The pig got down quickly. It's not something that normally the 737 does, but it's done it. And I'm really pleased about it. There's the Brisbane skyline on our left-hand side. Look at that. When we get the 1000 call out is when I'm going to drop the autopilot and the auto throttle. We've got the approach speed at 139. Everything is in. What's the go around altitude? Does it say on here? 4,000 on the go around altitude. Put that in, make sure. Okay.
Brisbane traffic, Qantas 131, runway 01 left, 5 miles to run.
Thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm so glad that the aircraft made up for my incompetence on the way in.
Just for your information, a few minutes ago, ground connected.
Yep, we've got the frequency ready to go, and yeah, we'll contact them when we're down. Thank you.
About 20 seconds, we'll be disconnecting the autopilot and the auto throttle will come out as well. I'm ready with that on here. I'm ready with my left hand on the stick. You can probably only just see that.
Traffic into 1123, 12 mile final 01 right.
Oh, 12 mile final 01 right, you just said.
1000.
There it is. Okay, let's take those out. Let's not drop that speed. Let's not rock the boat too much, Chaz. We need more throttle than that. Rocking around all over the place. A little bit fast. A little bit over to the left. It's a rocky ride. I do enjoy these approaches though, they are very manual. The aircraft doesn't really look after you at all, other than the flight director. Okay, looking out the window now.
300.
Feeling great on the speed. Dropped it a little bit.
200. Minimums.
Continue. Nice. And tasty.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, pudding. Come on, reverses. In you come. Auto brake 3 has actually done something as well. Oh, it's good that it actually stops now. Okay, and ground speed is 60 knots, reverse is stowed. Manual braking. Speed brakes away. And we'll exit on the next one to the right.
23
Okay. Flaps coming up.
Brisbane traffic, Qantas 131, vacated runway 01 left.
Smashing. Really loved that landing. Very proud of that one. Let's just park here. And we'll clean up everything after landing. So after landing, transponder goes just to TA. Boop. Flaps have been retracted. Speed brakes have as well. Landing lights come off. And runway turn-off lights come off. We'll just keep our taxi light on. APU start. And probe heat comes off. Engine start switches go off as well. And then the auto brake comes off to probe heat off. Auto brake gets disarmed. Let's see where we're going to taxi into. Now, I don't know the gates here at Brisbane, who parks where, so I apologise. We're going to go and park at stand 22. That stood out to me instantly. That's my old race number. So, runway 01 left. I didn't even put down our arrival on the paperwork. It's the Blacker 7 Alpha. We should have been on the 6 Alpha. QNH is 1016. Vacated runway 01 left at Tango 6. And then we're going to go to stand 22 via Sierra, Zulu, and Bravo. Sierra, Zulu, Bravo. Park and brake off. Power it up.
Brisbane traffic, Qantas 131, taxiing to stand 22. In fact, never mind.
Forgot, ground's online.
Ground, good evening, Qantas 131 with you. Almost forgot to change frequency then, thanks for the reminder.
No problem, just a reminder, just because you're blocking a high-speed exit. Taxi, do you have a bay preference?
Bay 22 if possible, please.
Taxi Sierra Zulu hold short Bravo.
Taxi Sierra Zulu, hold short Bravo, Qantas 131, sorry about that.
Come on, parking brakes. There we go. Okay, so Sierra and then Zulu, hold short Bravo. So, down Sierra and then Zulu. Yeah, we're blocking a high-speed exit, so my bad. But welcome to Brisbane, everybody. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the flight, especially you, Malcolm. Thank you so much for chartering this one. So this is Sierra. And then Zulu.
Ground is 1123 with you.
Flipping out, mate. Tripped over his microphone. Okay, coming up on Zulu now. Turning left onto it. And then we'll hold short Bravo, which I think is our second one on the right as we get a bit further down. And then we'll come all the way down here, as you'll see. Bravo is our, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4th on the right.
131, continue taxi right onto Bravo Charlie 2 to the bay.
Right on Bravo, Charlie 2 to the bay. Thank you very much, Qantas 131.
Okay, so we're going to be going right on Bravo, and then Charlie 2, which is that one. Signs are very bright. I've noticed that. I think this is the Orbex Brisbane. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? So this right here is Bravo. You can just about read it on that very bright sign. Around we go. And then Charlie 2, I think, is our second one in. Aircraft arriving on 01 right. Let's get GSX actually sorting us out as well. So we need to go gate 22. There it is. Apparently small. But oh well. We'll go Menzies. It loads in. Frame rate goes a bit dodgy. There's Jetstar. A320. Okay, this next one is Charlie 2, just to make sure. Yes. And then stand 22 is basically right in front of us. In we go. I like that they say that instead of saying read back correct. They just say the call sign again just to make sure. It's interesting when you go to different places, you see different approaches of how to control and how to communicate. It looks like some of the jetways are a bit broken here. I'm not quite sure if that's a GSX issue or whether that's just something that they do here. I don't know. 23 is there. 22 is here. Let's turn the taxi light off as we get in. Here's our ramp operative. It does look like they've got solid jetways again, which is something I've seen. Oh, where was the other airport where we saw this? We had almost completely solid jetways all the time. Just going to slow it down a little bit just to be sure here, because I don't want to clip this. Otherwise it'll make me look a moron. 0. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so after we have parked up then, shutdown, parking brake set, APU gen needs to go on. Boom and boom. Over to the APU gens. Fuel control levers are the next things to come off. So we come down here and go 2 and then 1. Doesn't it look fantastic here? Looks absolutely awesome. Is that a guy saying, yeah, look, he's pointing out with his kid out of the window saying, look at that idiot there, he's from England. Right then, so fuel control levers off, APU bleed comes on, that's over here. We are going to whack a dome light on just because I can't see this panel very well at the moment. Anti-collision light comes off. Then we have the seatbelt signs off. Chime comes off as well. Fuel pumps then off, except for that front left one. And anti-ice off, never put it on, brilliant. Electric hydraulic pumps come off. Then its isolation valve goes to open. And the flight directors come off as we come down here to complete our flight. And that's us here at Brisbane. Thank you so much, Malcolm Armstrong, again for chartering this flight today. I've really enjoyed this. It's been an absolute corker. I don't know when I'm next going to be on Australia flying, but still, it's been great every time I've been down here so far, so I look forward to the next one. That's all for now, though. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon in another episode. Have a great day.